Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome to another Tag Tuesday. Today I am reaching way back into the vault of tags that I still need to do, and I am going to be doing the Soggy Expat Book Maniac random question tag. This tag, you might have guessed by its name, was originally created by Shawn the Book Maniac and Heather from Soggy Expat Book Nerd. I was tagged about 85 years ago by Leo Bancroft, and I will leave all of their channels below and their tag videos, so please go and check those videos and channels out. So I think I will be able to go through these fairly quickly. The prompts are inspired by the channel names. You will see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so here we go. The first prompt is soggy. Cold soggy fries, yay or nay? So I have to admit that I am a bit surprised that this would be a yay for some people, but it is. So for me, it is a definite hard nay. I don't want cold fries, and I definitely don't want them soggy. Canada is known for its poutine, and I can't do it because I feel like there's way too much stuff going on with my fries. I don't mind a bit of ketchup, sometimes depends, but I don't want soggy fries. Now my favorite fries are McDonald's fries, and I do like floppy fries. I don't want my fries hard and crunchy. I like them to be soft and floppy. So McDonald's floppy fries are the best, in my opinion. Okay, expat. Have you ever lived abroad? If not, would you? So I have never lived abroad, but if given the opportunity and under, the right circumstances, then yes, I totally would. I had toyed with the idea when I was younger of teaching English as a second language, and I liked the idea of moving away to do that and have that experience, but life had other plans. Yes, I would definitely be up for an adventure like that. Next is book, a trip you took and or would like to take because a book or author made you want to see it in person. Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. None of you will be surprised. It's the first one that comes to mind, and I loved it there. It was everything I imagined it to be. The house was perfect, and the grounds and land around the house were beyond my imagination. I do also tend to read books about areas that I am traveling to, so that happens all the time, at least when I'm traveling. And I've also done the Stephen King tour a couple of times now when I've visited Bangor, Maine, and that's a lot of fun. It's really good. Next is book, a book or author from Canada and or Wales that you'd like to read. Well, I talk a lot about Canadian authors, so maybe I will focus on Wales first. I love Ken Follett, and I have read a couple of his books, but I really want to read the Century trilogy by him. It is a huge commitment. All three books are huge, but I loved Pillars of the Earth and World Without End. They're both from the Kingsbridge series. So I do think that I would love the Century trilogy too. And I also need to read the rest of the Kingsbridge series. An author from Wales that I haven't read yet is Sarah Waters. I've heard so many good things, and I have a couple of her books, including Fingersmith, I think it is, which seems to be her most popular one. So that is definitely on my radar. For Canadian authors, I'm going to go with someone that I haven't read yet, but is on my radar, and I hope to read his debut novel this year. I want to read The Upper Country by Kai Thomas. Wabishig Rice made me aware of this book, so I think that I should also say that I am very excited for Wab's newest book. It's a sequel, and it will be out in October. Moon of the Turning Leaves. Wob just posted the cover of this on Instagram, and it is stunning. Next is Random, Embarrassing Parent Story Time. A time your parent or guardian embarrassed you to your core and you're still recovering, or a time that you were the parent. So this is a bit more difficult because I don't really get embarrassed that easily. And I think partly it's just because my parents both have a great sense of humor. So, you know, my dad would sometimes do funny walks in stores or just joke around that way, but I always knew that it was for fun and it was done out of love, so I don't ever really remember being embarrassed by it. I always thought it was kind of funny. Maniac. One or two other things you are a maniac about, besides the obvious, which is being a book maniac. Yes, okay, so definitely books, that's obvious. But that's really my biggest thing. And I guess I could also say like concerts and traveling too. I've been known to travel great distances for different things, including concerts. So yeah, I think those might be two things that I'm a bit maniac about sometimes. Random. Have you ever been hideously lost? Literally or figuratively? I'm not sure that I have. I don't have anything coming to mind right now. I actually have a pretty good sense of direction and can navigate pretty well. Sorry that I don't really have a better answer for this one. If I think of something, I'll let you know. Random. A memorable encounter with a stranger. This one, I have tons of these because I tend to talk to everyone, and my friends are, you know, they always say that I become friends with everyone. So I guess I will go with the time that my dad and I were traveling. We were in the East Coast and we had spent time in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, mostly Nova Scotia, I think. And then we met a couple while we were taking the ferry to St. John's, Newfoundland. And they were kind of still planning what they were going to do, you know, when they got to St. John's. So I had told them about how my dad and I were going to a dinner theater type thing. And we chatted for a bit and I gave them the information for the show. And then we were talking with another couple on the ferry. And, you know, they asked what our plans were. So I told them about the dinner theater. And then the day of the show, like we were now in St. John's, and I had told another couple at the B&B about the show, and then another couple that we met that day while we were just out touring and sightseeing. So anyway, that night, Dad and I arrived at the dinner theater, and when we walked in, there was this whole table that yelled out, "Jolene!" And I looked over, and there were all of the couples that I had told about this show, and they were all sitting together at this table. So when they had all arrived, I guess they asked, you know, each other how they had heard about the show, and these four random couples all said that they had met me and my dad, and I had told them about the show, and they all realized that, you know, I was that person. I was the person in all of their stories. So that was a lot of fun, you know, just seeing all of these people gathered in one place. And things like that are like always happening in my life. So another random, what did you want to be when you grew up? And if you have now achieved that in real life, what's it like to be fantastically stable as an adult, asking for a friend? So it would depend. So it depends on what age you know, you would have asked me. I think when I was really young, like I'd say 7 or younger, I probably would have said a teacher. When I started high school, I was considering being a child psychologist, but you need math. You needed math for that, and so that changed. Then when I was finishing high school, I was pretty sure that I would do something in ministry, which although I did take a little detour here and there, getting there, but that is what I do, and I'm not sure how stable that really makes me, but I will say that I do love my job and have been very lucky to find a career, that really works for me. And then the last prompt is random. Are you a people watcher? Do you have good peripheral hearing? Share an anecdote or 3. So again, I'm a bit boring when it comes to this because I'm not really a people watcher. I enjoy talking with people, but I don't really watch just to sit and watch them. And I would say that my peripheral hearing is underutilized. I don't really have the curiosity to pay too much attention, so I'm not sure that I really have an anecdote. I guess what I do find interesting is how things have changed, once cell phones became so common. So for some of you who are old enough, you might be able to appreciate this a little bit more, but there was a time where phone conversations were private and they were done in your home, and in some cases maybe emergencies or whatever, at a payphone. But now, sometimes you can't help but overhear at least one side of a conversation, because the person is on a cell phone, whether we're on a train or in a restaurant. So that's been a really interesting transition, I think, in our society to kind of watch happen. Okay, so that is the Soggy Expat Book Maniac random question tag. This tag has been around a while, so I'm going to tag a couple of people that I don't think have done it, and I think they might have some interesting answers for this. So I'm going to tag Jim from Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, and I'm also going to tag Charlotte Malloy. If you're up to doing this tag, I would love to hear your answers. Thanks again to Shawn and Heather for creating this tag, and to Leo for tagging me. And I also appreciate your patience since it really has taken me forever to get to this one. Please let me know if you have, do you have any interesting anecdotes about strangers or people watching, or if you like soggy fries. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.